got a ritual. I wake up on Sunday morning, I smoke a bowl, and I watch a movie. And I share the movie in the PCP Army. And then I talk about it here tonight on Rockin Robbie Live. And tonight we're talking about a new movie. Usually it's a classic, but tonight we're talking about a new movie. I'm looking for the button right now. Here it is. Tonight we're talking about Mortal Kombat! Okay, a lot of hype behind this movie. A lot of love for the video game franchise. A lot of love for the original movie in the 90s. We recently recovered it like last year or the year before, and I gave it a bad review. The original. Because it just didn't quite live up. Now, what do I think about Mortal Kombat, the new one, 2021? Y'all actually liked it. I thought it was pretty solid. Like, no lie. Like, I saw a lot of negative response to this movie when it first released. I saw so many people hating on it. Jelani didn't really like it. A lot of people in the Army weren't liking it. But so I went into it with low expectations, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not going to lie. It starts off so badass. Most people agree on this. That initial fight between the man who will become Scorpion and Sub-Zero was so freaking dope. And speaking of Sub-Zero, I mean, best character in the movie, aside from Kano. We'll get to that. But Sub-Zero was dope. Looked scary, looked villainous, super creepy. Oh my goodness, I loved Sub-Zero in the film. But the main character is Cole Young. This is someone that brand new to the franchise. He's not connected to a character. Now, in the original Mortal Kombat movie, and what most other people would do, is that they would have made this character Johnny Cage. In fact, I almost wish they would have made this character Johnny Cage. Screw the Hollywood aspect. He's an ex-MMA fighter. He's like fighting these skeevy fights for $200 a night, and just skip the whole Hollywood thing and just focus on that then, right? Make him Johnny Cage, but they didn't. But I appreciate the movie because it gave us a point of view which wasn't Johnny Cage. Now, there are other characters that they could have used, and this character wasn't inherently that exciting. And by the way, spoilers, but he does have this connection to Scorpion, which I thought was pretty fascinating. Sonia Blade's in the movie. She's all right. She's decent. She's not a standout character to me, but she does kind of get badass at the end. They add this whole idea of the Arcana that they all, if they get the sigil, if they get the Mortal Kombat, sigil, they have the ability to unlock this power. So that's how Kano gets his laser eyes, for instance. That's a little weird. Like back in my day, that was just cybernetic eye, but whatever. So when Sonya unlocks hers by the end, that was a nice little journey. It was okay, but she wasn't stand out to me. Not like Kano. Oh my goodness. Kano stole the show. I saw a meme. It was really funny. They were like, oh, this actor, I can't remember his name. I didn't write any of the actors' names, but they were all really good. I think everybody did exactly what they were supposed to do, okay? But this dude, like, apparently he's in the hospital for back problems because he carried this whole fucking movie. But I wouldn't say that, but he really keeps the movie exciting and fun throughout what could be considered to be a lot of exposition dumps, which could just be a lot of boring faux character development. Kano keeps it lively. He's really funny, and his heel turn is the most obvious thing to happen, but, whatever. And right there, he's got that heart in his hand. Whose heart is that? Reptile. Man, they did my boy Reptile so wrong. I hope that's not the Reptile. Maybe it's a whole race of them. Maybe there's a different one we get to see in the sequel, because I hope this movie does get a sequel, because it's mostly set up. You don't actually get the Mortal Kombat tournament in this movie. That's kind of okay. But one of the problems, I think, maybe with the original Mortal Kombat movie from the 90s is that they got to everything too quick. So I get not counting on making a second or third film, but this feels like it's definitely paced out for at least a trilogy. That could be really exciting with the tournament and then the invasion. Jax, by the way, pretty cool. It's a bit weird at first when he has the skinny arms. It's really weird. It made me think of that scary movie bit with what's his name from Get Smart, or not Get Smart, but Stand Up, or whatever the hell. Chris Elliott. It made me think of him in that movie. But he was capable. He did a fine job. But Kung Lao Liu Kang stole the show for me. Oh my goodness. I loved them. Liu Kang is so over the top and cheesy in the original. he's actually like engaging and a compelling character in this one. And I loved the look. I loved the performance. I loved the firepower. I loved everything about him. And Kung Lao, bruh, what? His fatality, that was the sickest moment in the movie. I loved it so much. And spoilers, a very tragic moment at the end of Act 2. Then Raiden. Raiden's really cool. Glad he's not played by a white dude this time. This Raiden had a little bit of threat behind him, but he still kept this mysterious, godlike quality that you lose with like Christopher Lambert's performance and the dude from Part 2, which was even worse. And then Shang Tsung. Let's talk about the villain. Shang Tsung's decent. They don't get a lot of time to focus on him or anything. You definitely feel like they're trying to set up some stuff. They maybe spend too much time focusing on Cole Young. But Shang Tsung was decent. He was cool. He did exactly what Shang Tsung is supposed to do. Melina was weird, like a interesting hybridization, mix up between Baraka and Melina. So that was kind of interesting. They just kind of made her like a henchman, like a Bond henchman. So not a lot of development there. Could have been better, but still threatening. Goro's in it and actually looks doofy in some parts, but looks really cool in other parts. So I actually like the Goro bit. And if you notice, that's when Cole unlocks his Arcana. He unlocks his powers, and he gets this like battle armor that makes these weapons for him. But the battle armor is actually supposed to represent the basket that the daughter of Scorpion was saved in, because he's the bloodline. Speaking of Scorpion, it takes a long time for Scorpion to show back up in this movie, but when he does, it does not let up. So badass. That fight between him and Sub-Zero at the beginning and then at the end, so dope. Full on powers. They do all these fatalities. They mimic them. They say the stupid, cheesy lines. The characters are kind of spot on. A little bit of changes here and there in the lore, but really, who cares? I'm going to tell you this. I freaking liked it. Mortal Kombat was a great popcorn movie. It's nice to sit back, go gruesome, gory. At times, the CGC is a bit too much, maybe too cheap, but I thought it actually handled the subject matter very well. I thought the characters were really well, but the movie is sold by Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Kano, and Scorpion, and Sub-Zero. And that was my Mortal Kombat movie review. I give it 4 ya digs station. So I give it 4 ya digs. I want to know, what do you give Mortal Kombat 2021? How many ya digs? Out of 5 possible ya digs, what do you give it? I gave it a 4. I thought it was wildly entertaining. It had some badass fights. The characters did exactly what I was expecting them to do. All the bits I was expecting were all there. They had other characters involved, like Cabal. That was a nice surprise. I didn't even notice him. Liu Kang got to do his dragon fatality, but with like this giant thing of flame. Lots of crazy fatalities in here. I just wish we got to see Sub-Zero rip someone's spine out. But still, rather an enjoyable movie. I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm giving it 4 ya digs.